Joining us now is retired Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Detective Kim Varner.
Mr. Varner, we appreciate you joining us this afternoon. You know, you and I spoke briefly on the phone, and you said this is something that you take personal. All officers do when you see one of your own shot. In this case, once in the face, once in the back. This man is just 29 years old. We saw Sheriff Leeper there get emotional speaking about this. He's in very critical condition. When you hear the situation, the person accused of doing this is still on the run at this hour. Your reaction to this, sir?
Well, I did hear Sheriff Leeper's interview, and the first thing I want to say is traffic stops are the main cause of police officers being killed nationwide. When we stop a vehicle, we don't know who's in that vehicle, so traffic stops are the main cause of police officers being killed. And what was your other question? I'm sorry. Okay.
This is a 29-year-old officer shot in the face and the back, now in very critical condition. To see this happen, we don't know what's set to happen. He has a fiance. We just heard that he was planning a wedding, and we don't know what could happen in the near future. You seeing this young man in this situation?
Well, I've been in, when I was on the agency here with JSO, I've responded to police shootings where officer has been shot. We were out doing some plainclothes work. I worked undercover, and we were out doing that one night when officers got shot, and we all went to the hospital, so I can relate to those officers standing outside the hospital right now also, waiting to hear word on what's going on with your fellow officer inside the hospital. So I can relate to what they're going through. I can tell you this, that the Sheriff's Office will deploy every resource that they have, canines, bloodhounds, drones, helicopters, SWAT vehicles, armored vehicles, manpower. They will deploy every resource that we have, because this becomes personal when they shoot an officer. It becomes personal, and we want to see each other go home at the end of the day. So this guy being an ex-military guy, being out in the woods and all, it's going to be kind of dangerous. I saw where he already shot a canine. He has a rifle, and if he's a Marine especially, they produce very good snipers. I'm from a family of Marines, and they produce very good snipers. So he's going to have to use a lot of caution in approaching this guy. If he's in a heavily wooded area with a lot of brush, deep, thick brush, it's going to make it especially dangerous. I'm sure he's had training and been in that situation before. What I was sitting here thinking, I hope he runs out of ammunition. I don't know how much ammunition he has on him. Usually in a situation like that, they have what's in the gun that he had, and also in the rifle that he had. Hopefully, he didn't have any more ammo, and he, eventually runs out of ammunition, and we're able to capture him and end this situation.
Question here. So knowing that he is a Marine, he has military training, he was deployed in Operation Iraqi Freedom, does that change the tactics when you are trying to hunt him down in a heavily wooded area? Like you said, he was in shooting competitions. Obviously, he's very familiar with a gun. How does that change tactics as law enforcement when you are trying to track down someone who has, it seems like, pretty extensive military training?
Well, I served on the SWAT team here in Jacksonville, and I know snipers. If this guy may be a sniper if he had a rifle, in that case, a lot of times snipers like to get high where they can see, everything around them. So it definitely changes the approach. We don't know what, if he's laying in some thick brush covered up, or he might be up high in a tree somewhere where he can see everything going on around him. Snipers and Marine Corps snipers are especially accurate. They're very accurate. So it definitely changes the way we will approach him. They will approach him. I'm saying we, like I'm still out there. I want to be out there with those guys right now. But it definitely changes the way they will approach him. And I will add that they have shields and different kind of devices that might deflect some of the whatever he shoots at them, but still it will definitely change their approach.
Mr. Varner, you mentioned being on the SWAT team, so you've been in similar situations before. As you can imagine, tensions are running high out there. We're seeing a lot of comments on social media. People are frustrated. They want this man caught. Some are afraid. What's your message to the public, sir?
Well, my message is to, if you see anything that you might think is suspicious, even if you got dogs barking in your backyard or whatever, and you're close to this area where he's laying low, call the police. Let them know that your dogs are barking. Tell them exactly what you're experiencing. If your dogs are barking excessively, let the officers know that you know, you have your dogs out there barking a lot and you don't know what's going on. You don't know if the person might be in your yard or whatever the case may be. Right now, he's running scared, and I'm sure he's hiding wherever he can hide, under houses, in deep brush, anywhere he can hide. I'm sure he's doing that. So,
Mr. Varner, thank you so much for coming in this noon and for giving us your insight. We really appreciate it.
thank you.
Our On Your Side team has all angles covered here. You can download the First Coast News app. It is free. We'll be sending out updates, and they come right to the palm of your hand. So you can follow online as well at firstcoastnews.com. A lot of angles to this story, and of course, this is still an active manhunt. So stay with us. We'll be back there live at the scene in just a bit.